this here says this was the most energetically flaccid. Is that energetically? Is that the word? Energetically flattered football from us, Chelsea. Sorry to be R-rated, but it's like trying to bang a chick with a limp dick. All energy, no output. I literally said this at the start of the show. You might have been tuning in. Giant Kai, Zhao, and Cover get out. I wanted to ask about Chelsea as we move forward on this show. David, I'm going to go to you first. What did you make of your performance tonight?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't want to sound like Graham Potter, but Graham Potter in his last game said Chelsea are really good until they get to the box. And he, I may not have agreed with a lot of what Graham said. That I agree with because today, oh my god, the build-up play was great. The holding of the ball, the passing out the back, all of it was good. And then for some reason, they get to the box and all their heads just go. How
Yeah.
we weren't 3-0 up in the first 15 minutes, I don't know. I actually don't. Because Kovacic rounded a keeper
Yeah.
and shot, got blocked and shot again, and he missed. Havertz, I have no words. And Felix is fancy Havertz. Felix is, I'll look really good,
Spicy.
but I'll still miss. I don't know what to do. I don't. I like the signings that we've made so far because you can see what the club is thinking and what they're trying to do. However, we haven't made enough signings to build a whole squad in like 4 weeks. Like you just can't do that. So
Mm.
as of right now, it is what it is. We're not going to score many goals. We're not going to do anything. If we win the Champions League, would it shock me? No, but you know what? It's probably not going to happen.
What? Yeah.
Um, we've just got we just got to wait till next year. Just got to wait till next year. That's it.
What
Like
what you realize when it comes to Chelsea is this: scoring goals in football is the hardest skill. It's the hardest skill because you've got so many players out there that young kids online would go, he's a baller. I don't need stats to measure this guy. He's a baller. There's loads of ballers out there, but there's no one that can do. There's no one that's a complete footballer and not a complete attacker. João Felix, as you say, a spicy Havertz is a great way of putting him. I think there's a real good player in there, but his shooting is horrendous. It's crazy. It really, really is crazy. Matt, from your point of view, obviously Graham Potter's gone. Not a huge improvement there. Jesus Christ, it was like Satan came alive then. Fuck me. Talk to me, Matt. Talk to me.
I don't really have much to say for like one of the first times in ages. I mean, a draw, like I'll take that. 0-0. Our standards have dropped so low that we'll take a draw against Liverpool. And I think it's been like the fifth or fourth draw we've had against Liverpool, and again another 0-0 this season. And it just comes down to the attack again. I think Bruno came in for the first lineup he's ever done. I think it was quite well. I think I looked at the lineup, I was like, I was happy. I was happy with it. I saw, I feel confident going in, and I think during the game there was some great individual performance, especially from that midfield. I think Enzo and Kante really linked up well together. I enjoyed watching that. And we know, when you got players like Fofana and Reece James and even Kante, when they're fit, they're class. And I've always backed these players, but it's always just been their injury problems. But when they're on that pitch, they're class. But again, you look at Liverpool's side. Liverpool didn't have many of the big players. Robertson was gone, Trent was gone, and Salah was gone. I thought this would be our time to capitalize. But then I look at our attack, and I look, it's the same thing. I like that front two of Kai Havertz and Felix. But then I look at Kai Havertz. He's not a finisher. I look at Felix. He's not a finisher. And then you put Kovacic as an 8. Another guy who's not a finisher. So I don't understand why the manager did this. But again, we don't have a manager. I'm not going to blame this Bruno guy. I didn't even know who he was until the guy came out, and said, hey, I'm the manager. It's first time he's put a lineup out. That's fine. But the same thing for Kai Havertz. He's shit. Like he's garbage. He needs to go. Like, it's simple as that. And then I keep looking at Felix, and I said this a month ago. I said, why are we judging Felix after one game when he came out against that Liverpool game? And it was like, sign him. I'm like, sign him for what? He's like, I'm calling the Portuguese off the sheep. I really like João Felix. I really like him. But he just doesn't have any end product. And what do we need in this team? An end product. We're signing Kuku. It's coming in August. Maybe that might change it. But are we going to really spend that 80 million, 100 million for him to possibly work out? As I said, I really like the guy. If we signed him, I wouldn't be upset. but there's no evidence telling me that this guy should be 100% signing. He needs to definitely prove to me he wants to take this club, because I've seen nothing really. I've seen some great skill, I've got some great, take on some great passes, but his job's to be end product, isn't it? We played 2 9s today. And I think coming in the future, maybe playing him with a 9 might actually help. And in the coming weeks, is this Bruno guy going to bring back Aubameyang? And is he going to kind of finally show our only number 9? Or is this a case that it was actually Bowie's idea to drop Aubameyang? Because there was a kind of that rumor that it was Bowie's idea to drop Aubameyang, but I
Yeah.
thought it was Potter's. So I want to see now whose idea was it, because Aubameyang needs to come back. He's our only number 9. So I need to see that happen. And I'll just quickly say on the back, I think Koulibaly, Cucurella, again, I think they stepped up again today. I think they were okay. I really enjoyed watching them again. It's just a bit inconsistent at times. I think Kepa at the back was okay. Didn't have much to do, made a couple of decent saves. But we go from here, man. Like, I mean, we don't have a manager at the wheel. It's fine. I was expecting a manager bounce win, possibly out of nowhere. But I'm with David. I would not be surprised if we go and win the Champions League. I would not be surprised. It'd be the most Chelsea thing ever. But to win the Champions League, we have to score a fucking goal.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the hell can score a
It's
goal
true,
in this team.
but I think to do that, there needs to be a manager that comes in. You need to go out, and it needs to be Nagelsmann or Enrique. If you announce one of those managers by the weekend, let's just say it was to happen that quickly, you don't normally get new manager bounces from the caretaker manager who's from the backroom staff of the fouled manager prior. It's the same people, the same coaches. Nothing's really changed. And there was a talk today that the team was still kind of picked by Graham Potter, like he's manager by proxy, because it's still his team there. It's
I
almost
don't think this was a Graham Potter line. It didn't look like Graham Potter line. We played
yeah,
with an
no,
actual
but that
decent
wasn't.
lineup.
If you
I haven't
listen
seen
to
something Graham Potter ever.
they asked the question to Bruno, and he acknowledged it and said, "Yeah, there's been a collaborational pick in this team, almost like we're going to take Graham Potter away and officially sack him, but him and his team are still kind of picking the side until we bring a new manager in." That's what it looks like to me, because
Well,
those guys,
he was still saying after the game that the boys gave it the role as well. So, you got rid of the man, but you didn't kill the idea. The guy's still there.
exactly, and that's why a new manager is needed. Like Winter Surfer, like what did you make of it? Like, did it feel as good as you thought it would your first game without Grandpa?
I got a real problem with the Chelsea fans who expect something when the ball goes into the box, when his players will get excited, because the result it's the same thing. They're going to miss. I mean, no one's talking about that Kovacic one in the second half where he blazed it over when he just needs to hit it around Alisson, and he literally scooped and blazed it over the bar. I mean, João Felix, 2 goal contributions in 12 games now, is it? He'll get praised for a jinky run he did in the second half, and everyone will be, we got to sign him. Kai Havertz is Kai Havertz. I mean, I don't know how much more you can say about him. He's just one of the worst footballers to ever play for this club. He's just rubbish.
I mean, that's a bit far.
David, he's absolute rubbish.
David, he's garbage.
Absolute rubbish.
But again, like
he's garbage, David.
I feel like no. Okay, is he of the level? No, but again, I feel like we're kind of going Havertz. We're focusing on Havertz as the issue when there's a greater issue of no one can score. It's not only Havertz that can't score; it's all of them that can't score.
The issue,
either you've got to get rid of all of these players.
The issue is this. Havertz again played another 90 minutes. Why? Why did he play another 90 minutes?
Because who else is going to play?
Well, that's the problem that Matt said earlier. They refuse to pick Aubameyang. They refuse to pick Fofana. They have him in the squad whatsoever.
But I agree with not playing Aubameyang. Because why people are acting like Aubameyang is this savior who's going to start scoring all these goals.
Well, we have no
he's
idea.
A proven
He's not going to.
Yeah, but
hang on.
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. If you want to think of anyone in the squad right now that can actually finish chances, Aubameyang's a better finisher than Havertz, 100%.
But my point is that there's why we're focusing on this season, like we can salvage something. To me,
it's
makes no
not
sense.
that. It's the thing is this. The thing is this. The thing. You're playing a guy Havertz who does well in March every year. As soon as it comes to April again, he goes back to his usual self. Again, he plays. I don't know what instructions he's given. I said to you the other day when he sacked Potter, it's all good sacking Potter. You've still got coaching staff there. What's the point? It's the same thing. Get them all out. Get Bruno out with his initials BS on the front of his shirt, and it showed. It's just ridiculous. It's just the same. And his subs again, Gallagher on the 65th minute again for what? What? Why Gallagher
You
again?
couldn't kill the idea,
On
man.
the 65th minute to do what exactly? I don't. It's just in parts I agree with Devin. I don't agree. It's like, what are you trying to salvage? I need a manager in now, not this wait for the summer.
No.
nonsense,
But
'cause
I agree. I want the manager in now. I want the manager in now, but it has to be the right person.
Yeah, I
And
totally
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
I
100%.
just,
Yeah.
The only two people it can be is Nagelsmann or
Yeah.
Enrique. They're the
Yeah,
only
it's
two.
only them two. No one else. No one else
I
figures
get
in my
that.
mind.
I want to ask Don a question. Who is the right guy to come in now, in your opinion, Don? Who should they be bringing in?
Boy, Terry, they've been killing me in the group chat for this. I think the best person for the job right now would be Poch. I'll be
Yes.
real.
Yes.
I think it will be Poch.
Yes. Enrique or Poch? Yes.
And Enrique or Poch, like with Nagelsmann, like I respect what he's done in his career, right? But I feel like people go over the top with what he's actually achieved within his career. I'm not against Nagelsmann, but with Poch, he's proven it in the Prem. He's got a pure record of actually developing young players in the Prem. At PSG, yes, he lost the league to Lille, but then he won it the following season. So he has won a few trophies. I know in the final moments, people have their concerns. I'm the same. I'm quite skeptical because when I look at the list of managers available now, there isn't an ideal candidate that I want. Ideally, I would have loved a manager like Ten Hag, who technically is can be a world-class manager. And on top of that, he can actually build projects as well. So he ideally is someone that I would like right now. I wish Man United got Poch and Ten Hag was still available. So when I'm looking at the list available now, managers that are actually available now, no one's jumping at me. But when I look at what Poch has done and what we've got right now, I feel that he would fit it best. But I was at the Bridge the past 2 games and I was at Leicester as well. Like the fans will never accept him. That's the only thing. He doesn't fit with what the fans need right now, especially what we've had with Parr recently. So it won't happen. But for me, I feel like Poch would be able to use the tools that we've got right now because we've got a lot of young players. We've literally got 2 world-class players in this squad, arguably Reece James when he's fit and Kante as well when he's fit. Other than that, it's only Silva. We need to develop these young players. And like I said, Poch knows the league. Nagelsmann is still a bit of a project manager. He is. So
I'd say Poch and Nagelsmann, there's no difference between them two.
No,
because Nagelsmann, what he did with Hoffenheim and what he did at Leipzig is very similar to what he did at Tottenham. Because let's be honest, Hoffenheim before anyone, no one knew about Hoffenheim. David and I were the only 2 people that knew about Hoffenheim at the time, and he took Hoffenheim from basically mediocrity around about the relegation zone to Champions League football. And then he went on to RB Leipzig and I think got into a couple of finals, but didn't do anything of note. Went to Bayern Munich, won a league title, then got sacked. The same thing with Poch. So the thing is,
is it Ram? Is it Ram? Sorry, I didn't catch your name, bro.
Is it
Ram? Yeah. Yeah, Ram, sorry. Yeah. What it is with Poch, if he did this, what he did at Spurs for a different club, every single Chelsea fan would have a different opinion on him. I feel like a lot of the dismissing and a lot of the disrespect comes from the fact that he came from Tottenham. And he's got this whole thing about bottling it in the final moments. I mean, he lost to us in the final of the Carabao Cup. He was never beating us. He lost in the final of the Champions League, which again was a stupid decision in playing Harry Kane, who was injured all game, did nothing. So I'm skeptical the same way Chelsea fans are about him. But when I'm looking at what we've got right now and what I think would be able to, who I think would be able to build something with this current team, I'm looking at Poch. He knows the league. He's been here before. So when you mention his name, it's like people disrespect what he's done. He's not a bad coach. But I just feel like the fans, especially the match-going fans, they won't accept Poch. Not now.
Now, I'd argue there's no difference between Poch and Nagelsmann. I think they're more or less the same caliber for me. I think
the main difference,
you guys all need to look higher. From the Chelsea that
I know, I think you guys
who's available
now? Who's available now? Enrique, if you look at
Ruben Amorim.
No, leave Ruben Amorim alone. Leave Ruben Amorim alone. He's my guy. Leave Ruben Amorim alone.
If you look at who's available right now, the only manager who's got a proven record of winning is Enrique, but he's only done it at Barcelona. That's not a big enough sample size.
I can understand the Poch point though, because with the players you're buying a lot of young, unproven talents. Let's be honest, Nagelsmann is still classed as a young, especially if he comes to the Premier League, a young, unproven Premier League manager. Maybe what that group of players need is a manager who's got experience in the Premier League, who knows how to manage the media, who knows how to manage the expectations. Pochettino won't be the height of this Chelsea project. Not a chance. Pochettino is the height of it. But is he that ready-made stepping stone that Chelsea might need for this transition from young players with no experience to a group of slightly older players, ready to enter their prime, ready to win stuff, that now have experience of the league, of how to deal with the media, etc. Maybe that is what they need, rather than Nagelsmann, who, yes, if it works and he's able to adapt to the league quick, could eventually be that long-term manager.
Terry, I'm sorry. I'm
also
sorry,
a bigger
but-
risk.
Terry,
Go on,
I'm sorry, but it has to be either Enrique, and if it's not Enrique, Poch. These players are spoiled. It's been Sarri, Lampard, Tuchel, and now Potter. They do not deserve. We need a man, bro. Nagelsmann is 35. Thiago Silva is 38. I need someone who's got authority, who's got experience, and that can lead these group of players. It has
What
to
about
be.
Simeone?
Simeone is the most
that makes
Harambo
no
football.
sense.
Yeah, but
no.
even
I
at
love
you
his
guys at
attitude,
your
but his
best,
football's
at Jose Mourinho, you played sort of this
No,
course,
but- no,
so-called
but
haram
again-
football, bro. Come on,
but
stop
again,
it, man.
The way
No,
the
no,
squad is built, it makes no
yeah,
sense
yeah,
to do
you
that.
can't-
Makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, if you look at
Okay,
if you look at it, like I like Nagelsmann. I think it could end up being him because of what the infrastructure at Chelsea looks like. He would know people there. It would. I don't think he'd feel like a stranger walking in at Chelsea. But Poch, yeah, he might be. He very much could be too young. And I did read a rumor that he goes to work on a skateboard still.
I seen
yeah,
video
it
of
does,
him on
it
a
does, it does.
skateboard.
Yeah, that's for me. That's grown men on scooters is a problem in London for me. I see grown men on that, and I just look at it and think hipster. That's what I think. And you don't need that. However, like Poch is better, I would say, but he's a bottle job. Chelsea should be going all out for Luis Enrique because I think he's the best available now that you could get. Nagelsmann could become that. There is Ruben Amorim again, though.
We got to buy him out of the club, and we've already done
Buy him out
that.
of club at the same time. Every time there's a young Portuguese manager doing well in Portugal, everybody thinks Jose Mourinho 2.0, and it doesn't always work like that. Who's the guy that came in at Wolves and he was absolutely called
Nuno.
Lage.
Nuno Espirito
No,
Santo, yeah.
Bruno Lage.
Bruno Lage, yeah.
When he was signed by Wolves, he was being spoken about in the same way that Amorim's been discussed. Go back and look at it. So I just think let someone else take that risk. Let someone else take it. Maybe not you. Luis Enrique should do it, but I do think, and it has been confirmed today that Chelsea have made contact with Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique. They're the first two that they have actually made contact with and spoken to. But you need them in quickly. You really do. We're going to go to some super chats here. The first one, this is funny. Bowley really thought that Fabrizio Here We Go was a trophy. That's actually, I quite like that. Liverpool have scored 1 goal and 0 wins since little Tommy's epic celebration on the terrace after the 7-0 game. Back to irrelevance, you bums, is what
I don't regret a single second of that celebration
stuff,
either.
cool
I don't
stuff.
regret
I
a
don't
single
care.
second. Take me back there. I'll go through all this again to relive that 7-0. That's how bad we've been this season.
Lies. Cover is almost 30 and this brother can't shoot. All these years, man couldn't stay an hour after training and practice. He's shooting on goal is baffling.
It's mad. It's mad.
Yeah, it's crazy how some footballers just can't score goals. And the ones that are good passers, I'm not saying Cover's are great as a passers, they're the weirdest ones because you think it's just passing it into the net.
Terry,
Yeah,
he scored.
that's
Terry,
my
last
point.
year. Terry, last year against Liverpool, he scored a banger outside the box on a volley.
That goal had
once every 7 games.
that goal made no sense for me, man.
Yeah, I
It
know.
made no
That's what I'm
sense.
talking about.